All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about something you use every single day, probably without even thinking about it: web apps. They're like these invisible engines running our digital lives, but how do they actually work? Okay, so let's just start with a really simple question. You know when you're working on a Google Doc or you upload a photo, where does that file really live? I mean, it's not just floating out there in space, right? Well, the answer is they live inside these super powerful pieces of software called web applications. And trust me, these are the engines behind so much of what we do online: email, social media, even your online banking. But you might be thinking, hold on, isn't that just a website? And, well, not quite. There's actually a really important difference between a plain old website and what we call a web app. So let's break that down. Okay, think of it like this. A simple website, that's kind of like a brochure. You can read it, you can look at the pictures, but you can't really do anything to it. A web application, on the other hand, is more like a workshop. It's totally interactive software that runs right there in your browser, and it lets you create stuff, edit things, and just manage your work online. Right. And to get into any of these powerful web apps, you need one key tool. It's the program you're almost certainly using to watch this right now. Yep, your web browser. So most of us, right, we use graphical browsers, like Chrome, where you point your mouse and you click on stuff. But here's a fun little piece of trivia for you. There are also non-graphical, text-only browsers. Seriously, you navigate the entire web just using your keyboard, kind of like a throwback to the early internet. Pretty wild, huh? All right, so that's enough theory. To make this all a bit more real, let's take a look at one of the most popular web apps on the entire planet, Google Drive. I'm pretty sure you recognize this logo. At its heart, Google Drive is basically your own personal digital locker. It keeps all your files safe on Google's servers, makes sure they're synced up across all your devices, and makes sharing them just super, super easy. And getting started is simple. You just create a Google account. And that one account, it's like a master key. It doesn't just unlock Drive. It opens the door to a whole universe of other connected tools. Yeah, and that's the thing. Google Drive is so much more than just a place to store files. It's really the central hub for a whole suite of powerful apps. I mean, it's basically a complete office that lives right inside your web browser. So first up, you've got Google Docs. This is your word processor, but it's in the cloud. So instead of having to install something like Microsoft Word, you can just write that essay or polish up your resume right there in the browser. No installation needed. Then you've got Google Sheets. Think of it as the web's version of Excel. It's this super powerful spreadsheet tool you can use for, anything from a simple budget to tracking really complex project data. And yeah, it has all the formulas and charts you'd expect. And next, of course, is Google Slides. This is your go-to for making presentations online. It lets you build really compelling visual stories and slideshows, kind of like the one you're watching now, all without needing to buy software like PowerPoint. And finally, we've got Google Forms. This is just a brilliantly simple tool for making surveys or quizzes or even sign-up sheets for an event. It honestly makes collecting information from a bunch of people an absolute breeze. Okay, so you have all these amazing tools, right? Docs, sheets, slides, but how do they all work together so seamlessly? I mean, how does a change you make on your phone show up instantly on your laptop? What's the magic there? Well, when you bundle them all together, they form a complete Office suite. You might know it as G Suite, though Google calls it Workspace now. But the really huge difference is that, unlike the software we used to use, this whole suite isn't stuck on just one computer. Nope, it lives online. So how do they keep everything updated everywhere? Well, the secret sauce is something called two-way synchronization. And it's actually pretty simple to understand. Think of it like a conversation. If you make a change on your phone tells the cloud. Then, if you make a different change on your laptop also tells the cloud. The cloud's job is to make sure that both your phone and your laptop always have the most up-to-date version. See, both devices are treated as equals, which is why everything stays perfectly in sync. And this whole system, this entire idea, is powered by what we call cloud computing. Really, the easiest way to wrap your head around it is this. Instead of using the hard drive and the processing power of your own personal computer, you're basically just renting a little bit of space and power from a gigantic worldwide network of servers that companies like Google own. Okay, so what's the big takeaway here? With all this tech, what does it actually mean for how we work and how we get things done every day? What it means is that your work is no longer chained to one specific computer. You can share an entire project with just a single link. You can invite your coworkers to jump into a document and edit it with you, in real time, literally seeing them type as it happens. You can get feedback, publish your stuff straight to the web. You can collaborate with anyone from anywhere on Earth. You know, this massive shift from software on our computers to applications on the web, it has completely changed the game. It's changed how we create, how we share, how we work together. Those old barriers of physical location, they've pretty much vanished. So I guess the only question left to ask is, now that your office can be anywhere, what are you going to create?